Well, hey everyone. Today we talked about worshiping the giver of gifts rather than the gifts themselves, finding our significance in the giver of gifts instead of the gifts that he gives, and measuring our worth in terms of what Jesus has done for us instead of what we do for Jesus. And I've got a quick, it's kind of a craft uh, that may help in solidifying things. And maybe it's because I'm somewhat kinesthetic, but I thought I'd invite you to do this along with me. And all you need is a piece of paper, a pen, and a pair of scissors. I've got them here, and here's all I'm going to do. Up up at the top of my piece of paper, I'm going to write one of the gifts that I've been given that I have a tendency to turn into an idol, either as a measure of my own value or as a measure of how God should value me, what he should be impressed by, what he should give me blessings for. So I'm going to write one down on this page. Unfortunately, there's more than one, but why don't you pick one? And so I've written this on the page. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm going to cut the piece of paper and I'm going to make it a strip instead of a whole sheet of paper. And if this represents the idol that I have, or the thing that I use instead of God to feel good about myself, what I want to do is not to hang on to this, not to be impressed by this, but to begin to thank God for this, to transform it from an idol that I bow down before into something where I can acknowledge that God is the one who gave it, and it's a measure of his glory and not my own. So I'm going to cut a little notch in one side on the bottom and a little notch in the other side on the top. And I'm going to make a loop out of this. And you'll notice that it's much too small for my big fat head, but we're going to call it a crown. I'm not going to put this crown on my head because this isn't where my meaning comes from. It's not where my significance comes from. It's not where I should be getting any praise. What I'm going to do is say, thank you, God, for giving me this gift. It's a resource you've given me with which I can worship you and serve you. It's not something to puff myself up. And that's all that this craft entails. So write down something that's a gift from God that you have a tendency to treat as an idol. Cut the strip out, make notches on the top and bottom of the sides, turn it into a crown, and be like the elders in Revelation who have a crown, a gold crown, a beautiful crown, a crown that 24 people in the entire universe have, and they don't hang on to it. They cast their crowns before God in worship of him. They say, you're the Holy One. Let's do that.